All right, we're going to work on the cell phone problem here. Let's first go ahead and read it. The first mobile phone was invented in 1973. That's about when my parents were born. However, the first mobile phone was made commercially available, so that's anybody could buy it, was in 1983. By 1985, there were 285 cell phone subscribers in this town. So in our town, we have 285, and we'll count that year zero, and that is 1985. All right. So then in this town, the number of subscribers increases by 40% every year after 1985. So we're going to complete the table below. Let T be the years since 1985 and Y be the total number of subscribers. So if I want to put this together, I have all my phones. That's 100%. That's these guys. Then I have to have my new phones. That's 40%. Put that together, I get 140%, which is the same as 1.4 because I moved my decimal place twice over here, and I get 1.4. That's my growth factor. So my growth factor is here. I'm going to multiply this 285 by my growth factor, and I'm going to always round up because I don't want a fraction of a person. So let's take 285 times 1.4, and I get 339. Then if I multiply again, I should get 559. I had to round this one up from 0.6. Next, I should get 782, but that was a 0.6. So really, I should round that up to 783. Then I'm going to get 1,906. What am I doing every single time? I am multiplying by this number, by 1.4, my growth factor. So if I take this times 1.4, I'm going to get 1,534. 1,534. Again, I can just fill in my years here. These just grow by 1. I'm jumping 1 year at a time. Next number, I'm going to have 248, 2,148, and then I think it's 3,007. So I started off with only about 300 people, 285, and I'm ending up with 3,000 people in just 7 years. Okay, so I'm growing pretty fast. We need to fill out the rest of this table. I don't have all the table here on the video, but you need to fill out the rest of the table for the problem. Now, if I want to answer problem number 17, 17 is asking about my slope. My slope is always going to be the change in y over the change in x. So these guys would be considered my x, and these guys would be considered my y. So it actually asks for the slope between years 87 and 88. So I need to look at this change. That's a change of just 1. All right? And then I need to look at this change. So I take 783 minus 559, and that's going to be a change of 224. So my y goes on top, 224 divided by 1. That equals a change of 224. So that's my slope between 87 and 88. It wants to compare that with the change in the slope between, I believe it was 90 and 91. Again, this is only changing 1 year, but this is changing a lot. 2,148 minus 1,534 is going to be 614. So I have a change of 614. So now my slope is going to be 614 over 1, which is, again, 614. So now to answer my question, I have to be comparing. This was my original slope, and now this is my new slope. What's happening to my slope? My slope is getting steeper and steeper and steeper. I'm growing. So when you have an exponential function, your slope is changing, and in this case it's growing. All right. Then if I actually want to model this, I need to use my equation y equals a d to the x. A is my initial amount, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 285 right there. And D is my growth factor. So my growth factor is just this 1.4. So I put a 1.4 right there to the x. That right there is going to be my equation. To answer the final question, question number 20, I need to go ahead and figure out how many phones I have in the year 2016. Well, since 1985, all the way to 2016, that is 31 years. So I go ahead and in this x, I'm going to put 31. So now I'm going to have 285 times 1.4 to the 31. You can use a calculator or you can use a computer to do this. If you're using a computer, you have to use the caret button. I'll show you exactly what you're going to write into your computer. Okay, so you will put in 285, then you should use some commas, some parentheses, 1.4, and then you have to use this guy. It's an up arrow, it's on the top of the 6. That says to this power, and you put 31. And then you'll get the correct answer. And my correct answer is 9656372. And so that is 9 million people. 9 million people in this tiny little town have cell phones in 2016. Does that seem right? Are cell phones popular? I think so. So I grow very fast. I have 9 million people in 2016. Hope this helps.